work longer, do more, if I find myself in the office completely distracted, I try to get myself back on focus by listening to just those type of words, that energy that comes with that message, that energy that comes with that push and that empowerment of ourselves. It gives me chills and it just gets me realigned for a second, ready to go and get back to what I'm doing and go harder than I did 2 seconds ago. So that's just one thing for me that I like to do in the morning. I like to do after work. Right now, I'm going back to real estate. I'm getting my real estate license back. That was a huge passion of mine. I was great at it when I did it. I let it kind of fall to the wayside. So now I have to go back and retest for it. I haven't studied since 2004 when I graduated high school. So it takes a lot for me to go home and all I want to do is, we all want to pull off my bra and sit down. I don't want to go. I don't want to do anything. I don't want to do anything extra. But we have to find that inner push. I love when he said you gotta sometimes stand up to yourself and say, "Shut up. You're gonna get up. You're gonna work out. You're gonna do this. You're gonna do whatever it has to happen in order for you to get where you've always said you want to go." So this is one way that I like to empower myself. So I want to ask y'all, what are ways that you guys empower yourselves? Karen?
For me, and many of you heard me say that, I think the key is whatever your belief, you have to believe in something. Because if you don't believe in something, you'll fall for anything. So for me, what I do to empower, motivate me is I prepare myself. I invest. I try to read positive affirmations every day. I try to get to a place and where there's just me, no noise, just silent, so that I can digress. And I do it, and many of you know, because y'all have seen me, when I drive into the parking lot, I don't immediately get out of my car, because I have to prepare myself that I can receive everyone else, because it's not anyone's responsibility to take on what I'm dealing with. So I take a moment, think about those good things, think about those things that I'm grateful for. Those are the things that push me and empower me and make me feel like, I can conquer anything. So for me, it's getting still. Some people call it meditation, but just filling my spirit with just positive affirmations and reading positive books and keeping boundaries. Like, I don't have a lot of people in my circle. Many of you know I'll talk to everyone, but I don't have a lot of people in my circle. And I think sometimes we don't understand that our presence is valuable. You have to look at yourself, that someone should be honored to be in your presence. And when you do that, you'll guard that. You'll guard your space. You won't allow a lot of negative and a lot of different things that are not wholesome or are not conducive to your growth. You won't allow those things in your space. So that was a lot.
So taking a second to reset yourself before you get into
and just continue to pour into yourself. Invest. If you don't have a good daily, some type of affirmation that you go to, get one. You can get them from the dollar store. Get one that you read every day. And at your desk, have something at your desk. Something that when it gets hard, when the day gets tough, you can look at that and you'll be like, you know what? Hey, I can do this. I got it. I can do this. So.
All right, cool. Rita.
Well, for me, it's actually my daughter.
Okay.
Because she's 4 years old, and before I had her, I lived a day to day. I mean, I didn't care what tomorrow was about. It didn't matter to me. I lived from paycheck to paycheck because I wanted to enjoy life, but it wasn't me. It wasn't like what I wanted to do for tomorrow. So the fact that I have a little girl and I want to make sure that when she grows up, she has that strong personality like, her mama has. And that I want to show her what her mama did when she was younger. So when she gets older, she's looking at it at a positive side, not a negative side. What did mom do in order for her to achieve? Why can't I just drop out of school if mom didn't finish school? So to me, every day, having that successful day, when I come home, some people say it's silly, I get excited when I get an account. But I get excited because I worked hard And when I come home, I share it with my husband, and I share it with actually my daughter, and she's like, oh yeah, mommy, you did it. And that's what keeps me moving day to day, because at the end of the day, I want to be a role model for her. I want to make sure that, when she grows up, she's taking the right path. And at the same time, faith to me is really important. And I also want to make sure whatever I do, in front of God is the right thing, and she has to see that too. So to me, that's
being that example for your daughter.
Yeah, exactly.
Gotcha. Cool. Sonia.
Well, how do I empower? Mainly for me, my substance of empowerment is just having a relationship higher than myself. I've had to learn this, that empowerment comes in different seasons of your life by different ways. And in this season of my life, I think I'm just learning to empower myself with proper balance. I think as women, we do so much, in the home, in our communities, in our church, for our families, for our grandkids, that we lose ourselves within ourselves, and we always feel like we have to say yes to everything. So the way that I'm learning to empower is to slow down and just sometimes say no and give myself what I need so I can be better for when that time comes to empower, that I'm rested to hear that person that may need some encouragement, or I'm at a place that I can receive what God is really trying to tell me in my life, and it won't be where I'm not receptive of what's going on before me, because I'm so busy being busy that I lose my focus of what's really going on around me, or what's needed. So I'm just trying to be slower, like Karen said, have those boundaries, but really give my time and my energy to the things that are really needing that, opposed to having everyone in your ear, everyone pulling on you, and then you're so exhausted that you're lost for yourself when it's time for you to hold down the fort for myself, for Phylicia, for Ryan, or Tatiana.
Gotcha.
Learning to listen.
Creating those boundaries for yourself and other people. Okay.
I just pretty much just know that I have to do it, and I just get up and do
You
it.
just push yourself, period. Period. You've always been like that.
Yeah.
Them numbers show.
Just pretty much do it, and that's it. And I do it.
Okay. Loose.
Empowerment for me, it's a little bit difficult, because I think growing up, I've always looked at empowerment as something that someone gives to you.
Okay.
So I've never really thought of it as something that I would do for myself. And as I've gotten a little older, and as I've had children, I'm starting to realize more and more that I have to empower myself, and it's not about what others, the power that others give me. And I really, I'd say I cheated myself out of a lot of things earlier on in my life, because I was looking for others to give me that empowerment. And along with what Rita's saying, it really comes to light when you have children, because I look at everything I do now and know that they're watching me, and I want them to grow up knowing that they have control over their situations and their environment and the types of things they put themselves into. And in this scary world that we live in, I think it's so much more important now. So I'm really more aware of that. And what I do to try to keep myself feeling empowered is it's kind of a daily thing, but it's a combination of things. I do a lot of reading. I have my faith in God, and some days on the way to work, I just listen to music that's just, sometimes it's just like rocking out music to make me feel strong. It just depends on what I need, and more and more it's just telling myself that I can do it. And if I believe in myself, then it usually happens. Me waiting for someone else to believe in me doesn't get it done.
There you go. Okay.
That's
Cool.
good.
Lauren. Well, the question we were asking when he's going to bed.
She's always on place.
It is a question I was talking about the same time.
Sometimes clothes are empowering too.
Yes, they are. We were just talking about what we do to empower ourselves.
I think, like Lucy said, your perception on what you need to do to motivate yourself changes as you get older. And, just working in the sales environment for like the past 8-9 years of my life, I found that it's hard to put your faith in tangible things. My sister and I, we're so goal oriented, and we we set our goals based on, next year I want a house, I want a new car, I like to have this, I like to have that, but it's like, when you use things that are tangible, it's hard to look at where you came from, and it's just not a good place to be at. So for me, what I've learned in empowering is just finding intangible things, like things within yourself that you can goal yourself on and learn to motivate yourself. Like, I want to be a better person. I want to start going to Bible study. I want to start, listening better. I want to do more things with my kids. So things that you can really hold yourself accountable instead of materialistic things. So that's kind of what I've learned to empower myself on.
Well, mine is all about believing in myself and just realizing that yes, I can do it. And even in this environment, sales environment, yes, I can go after this multi-million-dollar business. And there's always this inner voice that is kind of telling me, no, maybe not, maybe you shouldn't. But overcoming this fear and really believing in yourself.
Okay.
And my daughter saying this for yes. Little person.
For me, it's morning meditation. I used to work for SunTrust Bank. I was manager there, and I had met an older lady. She had retired, but then she came back to the bank. And I noticed she had like mirrors all around her desk, and I was like, this lady really like the way she looks, you know? And I would get there early in the morning with her, and I just saw her, and it looked like she was in a daze, and I was like, let me check with this lady. And then I went over, and she taught me what she was doing in the morning. She reaffirmed herself, like in the mirror, smiling at herself. She said, having that positive smile first thing in the morning, it makes you feel good. It really does, and I've been doing that ever since. Good. And what I'm going through with my back and things like that, it really helps me in the morning to be like, Robin, you can get through this day, and everything gonna be okay. So it really does, really help me in the mornings. I get here early every morning and I do that, and it makes a difference.
That's cool. Just resetting your energy, putting yourself right where you want to be.
Yeah.
That's
All right. Love that. And last but not least,
I think what Rita said about the kids helping. I get empowerment definitely through my kids.
Okay.
And myself, like I'm normally very happy natured. That's just me though. I think it's in my DNA. I was born that way. I don't really have to do much to be myself. I think what I like is being able to rub that off onto others. That's makes me delightful, if that makes any sense. As far as pushing forward on life goals, and I just shoot for something one at a time. I think if you put too many things on your list, then you can't accomplish that. That
seems daunting. Seems like too
much. You never get to it
Yeah.
because you're just thinking about everything too much. So one thing at a time. You start off here, get to point A, then you go to point B, and down the list.
And celebrate on each point.
Exactly.
There you go. Okay. Now, this time, last but not least.
Oh no. No. Like Lucy, empowerment for me is I feel like I'm in a learning process of that. But I like to surround myself with women like yourselves who I can learn from, who I feel that are strong, and so that empowers me to feel like, oh, well, I can learn that, and so, and then also, my faith, my kids, so.
I just making sure you have the right people around you.
Yeah.
But one thing that I thought was, and this is kind of crazy how that happened, that was kind of a universal thing that we all had was the idea that we need to take the time and make the time to pour into ourselves so that we can actually be a benefit or rub off on another person, which is perfect because it goes right to my next video. Here we go.